This is Josh Pope with the Associated Press. I'm here at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, and pandemonium has erupted after a security incident in which we saw Secret Service and other forms of security rush into the room after what now appear to be reports of shots being fired. What we saw was a quick rush to the stage where President Trump was sitting, and the president and his wife, Melania, were escorted off stage. And then we saw additional security come surveying the room and taking cabinet members and other top government officials out of the area, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary.
When the incident first happened, people immediately rushed under tables, seemingly not knowing what was going on. Many people remained under tables for several minutes. Even after the scene seemed to be clear, some folks took extra caution and remained under those tables. A lot of reporters were naturally in the room, so they were taking out their phones and shooting any video they could of the incident. But it all happened so quickly that before we knew it, most of the head table had been whisked out of the room. And the scene took a few minutes to clear before people felt secure enough to get up and walk around.
The dinner had just started. President and First Lady had just been brought into the room. A few minutes later, people were just in their first course, and there was some sort of loud commotion. Secret Service came running up. They immediately pulled the President and First Lady and Carolyn Leavitt, who were on the dais. They pulled them to safety, and then everybody was laying on the ground. We were all the journalists, all the guests, all the dignitaries were on the ground. Slowly, Secret Service appeared to be clearing the room, looking. It's unclear exactly what happened, but I saw slowly, we saw Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller and his wife, Katie Miller, get pulled out. We also saw Scott Bessent and Energy Secretary Chris Wright also being moved to safety very quickly. Secret Service moved very, very quickly. But right now, we really just don't know what's going on. There was some loud noise, some scuffle of some sort, but what exactly happened to precipitate what happened is, frankly, right now, it's a little bit unclear.
Concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
All violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story. Race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%, but if you take presidents, it's 5.8%, and about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.